Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am live to talk to you guys tonight, today, this evening, right? About Jarrell, Superman, Big Baby Miller. There we go. The bad guy has returned, people, and today he erupted with Fabio Wardley, his next target, his next victim of interrogation, blasting, roasting, and a partridge in a pear tree, because that's exactly what Jarrell Miller does. He roasts you. He talks so much trash about you. And actually, I think he's the #1 trash talker pound for pound right now, because I used to think it was Tyson Fury, but now I know it is Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Anis Amara, good day to you, sir. Counterpunch to you. Curtis Young in the building. Counterpunch. Mama Lou, what it do? Hello there to you. Bars. Let's come in, people, and hit that like button. Let's talk about Jarrell Big Baby, the bad guy, Miller. First of all, since I got a proud, saw the press conference live full on. Yeah. I mean, he always has hype full on press conferences. Somebody's going to get slapped. Somebody's going to get cussed out. Somebody's going to get shoved. Somebody's going to get pushed. Someone's going to get something thrown at them. Yeah, it was very heated. And then see, I don't think that Fabio thought that it was going to get that real, that intense, See, and now it's going to be a different type of fight, which it should be, But one of the things that any fighter can do before stepping into the ring is mental control, okay? Mental warfare, Curtis Young, Big Baby all day. Thomas Bilas in the building. Let's see. All right, let's start a poll. Cool. Boom. Fabio looked innocent there. Big Baby is the real bad guy. Well, I think generally he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. You know what I mean? I don't think Fabio is a guy that I think he's pretty genuine. I think Fabio Wardley ain't a guy that kind of likes to bullshit, because there are people that will talk about you behind your back. There are people that will say shit about you, knowing who you are, backbite against you. And then when you see them face to face, they ain't got nothing to say. There's people like that. Yeah, I mean, I know there's people absolutely like that. And it's crazy, man. I don't think Fabio's one of those people, because you got a lot of people, man, I didn't say that, Roland Curtis off Vermont Avenue. Jarrell Miller was acting like a typical immature little baby. Fabio said that the diss track was a deep fake AI media production. It might have been, but I think the way Jarrell Miller looked at it is, okay, well, even if it is, you allowed it to happen, you okayed it or whatever. So, but even so, who cares? I mean, so what? You know what I mean? I mean, based on how Jarrell Miller's coming at somebody, man, you could run across Jarrell Miller. I could run across Jarrell Miller, and Jarrell Miller could look up some shit that I said about him 6 years ago. You know what I mean? Especially when he was failing those drug tests, everybody had something derogatory to say against Jarrell Miller, especially when the shit found out to be true. You know what I mean? Because at first he was saying that, you know what I mean, I'm innocent, don't believe everything you hear and shit like that. And then when when another drug popped up in his ass, then he was like, hey guys, I met a bad call, I'm dying inside, you know what I mean? Shit like that. And it's like, well, so no. So based on what you said about him, testing positive, then lying about him actually being positive, and then admitting he was positive. I bet you a lot of people had something bad to say about Jarrell Miller, but that don't mean that he should be talking shit about people and, shoving them and shit, knocking their cups out their hand. And he did a guy like that, man. But the guy was raw. I mean, I would have done it too if I was Jarrell. Because the dude did walk up to Jarrell. What'd you cheat for, man? You been cheating? What are you taking those pills for? Were you a cheater? Yeah. Jarrell Miller, like, bro, I will punch the shit out of you. I will punch the shit out of you. Yo, get out my face, B. Yo, get out my face, B. Get out my face, B. Kurt, salute. How was your day? Jax, man, it was okay, man. I ran some errands and stuff like that. Just real boring shit, man. I did some running this morning, I guess, this afternoon. I got up at 11. I went to sleep at 2. I ate steak and eggs, avocado, did a carnivore diet this morning, which I just totally destroyed it. I had some damn Cheeto chips and Snickers and some damn water. So at least it was core hydrated water. But anyway, it's this track meet I'm gonna go to, so I'm gonna check out the track meet or whatnot. So that's gonna be the highlight of the day, I guess. What's your prediction anyway, Kurt, on this fight? I think it's gonna be an interesting fight. And I think it's regardless of this build up and trash talk and all this verbal promotion, whatever. It depends on who wants it more. It depends on the style, but it also depends on who trains more. Jarrell Miller, he's not looking bad, but then Jarrell Miller's a big, beefy, husky motherfucker anyway. So he can have you thinking he looks a certain way. He's getting his definition back. But I think he should do more on strength and conditioning. Excuse me. Because here's the reality of Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller was never sought at or looked at or viewed as a knockout puncher. But he was known for volume. He's a guy that was known to be that size and throw that many punches round per round per round. Well, I think, honestly, if the only reason he was getting those type of output punches round after round, the only reason I think he was able to throw that would be possibly the drugs, the juice. And if he wants to compete with the productivity as he had back then, he has to lose weight to be able to throw that many punches. Because you see him now, I mean, even in the Ruiz fight, he outworked Ruiz, but Ruiz he's not a volume guy either. Ruiz is more of a counter hooker. He's a counter puncher. Any counter punches they're designed based on their style to hurt you with certain shots, because counter punches hurt you more versus a volume puncher. A volume puncher is more like Caballo. Caballo's a volume guy. He just likes to work the body. Well, Jarrell Miller likes to work the body too, but he hasn't had the reputation like Caballo. But understand, those guys are different as far as someone like Andy Ruiz. So you can outpoint someone like Andy, and he did a decent job doing that. So you can't say he can't or don't have the ability to throw punches round after round after round. I just think that if he was going to compete with the alleged juicing aura of Jarrell Miller, he should lose weight. And then I think if he lost weight and he lost it in the right way, he put on more muscle, and shredded down, and and his gas tank is a lot better. Because of that, he may be the guy that he was at the time that he was caught cheating. So in other words, he can do what he can do when he was cheating, but he don't have to cheat to do it when he loses weight. Okay? So hope people understand that. Wesley Gamble, bro, counterpunch to you. Did you see the video of Jarrell Miller trying to punk Jared Anderson's homie a few weeks ago? The smaller dude didn't budge. He stood his ground, so the Jarrell Miller pushed him, and folks broke it up. Well, This is what I don't understand about Jarrell Miller. I mean, at this point, he's like 35, 36 years old. You know, at this point, it comes off like, why would you worry more about a guy that's trying to reconstruct his career? You know what I mean? It's almost like uh he's just trying to make him a rival of such. And I think there's no need for him to be pissed off at Jarrell or Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson got beat by Macaulay. You know, he got beat by Macaulay. And because he got beat by Macaulay, he was just like, hey, uh, I got beat. And I don't really see why Jarrell Miller is kind of keeping that up. Like, why start the beef that, like he said, like, I have no beef with people that I'm not fighting. So what is the deal with Big Baby Anderson? Are you that bitter that he's using Big Baby? I mean, that's not even really a fucking cool name, Big Baby, to me. I mean, I'm just keeping it real, man. It's not even worth, you're mad because Jared Big Baby Anderson, with with a little shit in his mouth, a pacifier in his mouth he used to walk around with. I mean, that's just a different thing. He's just a charismatic little dude from Ohio. So why are you messing with Jared Anderson? I don't know. But he's been trying though. Seen this play before. Miller wins the press conference, brings none of that bravado energy, tough guy into the fight. Wardley takes over after round 6. Someone like Fabio, though, just watching someone the size of a freaking wall coming at you, just coming straight at you, not side to side, just coming straight at you. I think it could be an easy fight for Wardley. I just hope not, because I just don't see Jared cutting off the ring. I just see him walking down guys, and it's like you're taking shots, and it's like I don't think those shots are necessary. That's how Daniel beat him. Daniel beat him because he knew, like, look, he's gonna come at me. He's gonna throw punches. I'm gonna move. You know what I mean? And Daniel, by God, he moved. He moved, boxed, countered, moved, boxed, countered, clinched, moved, boxed, countered, clinched, moved, boxed, countered. He did that shit all night long. And eventually he ended up breaking down Big Baby Miller at 330 pounds. Miller said he took the Triple D fight on short notice. Yeah, he did. I mean, but I think that was everybody. Everybody did that. I mean, when that card was called, which was in like November, right? When they called it in November, you only had like 4 weeks to fight. And I think Turkey should have done that earlier. I think the days of reckoning should have been so much better. Because a lot of people that lost said the same shit. Like, oh, I didn't have enough time to train, or I got there too late, and all that shit, Kurt, who wins Philip Hergovic versus Martin McCauley? Martin will probably destroy him. Because, see, he's a different guy, Martin McCauley. Yeah, they would probably stop that fight, because we see how fast Hergovic cuts. It won't be long, bro. It won't be long in a fight like that. Did you see the video? Already got that. Seen this play. Okay. Sherry, bro, I'm a professional soccer player and play for Liverpool. Sherry, counterpunch to you. Wesley Gamble, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Kurt, they should put Moses Atoma versus Kubrat Pulev on the same card. I think that's such a mismatch at this point. I mean, pay Pulev. I think the older fighter should always get paid when fights like that are just being made, See, Jarrell Miller, 37 in July. Yeah, dude, he's fucking old. Jarrell Miller's old now. But that's what happens, though, when you take fucking 6 years off, or 3 and 3. You know, Jarrell Miller, I mean, he fought Ruiz last year and Daniel Dubois before that. Before that, he didn't do jack shit. You know, because he was on suspension for so long. So yeah, he ruined his career with the bullshit. You know, you just got to ask yourself, was that shit worth it? You know? I'm the minority, but I want to see Jarrell Miller versus Anthony Joshua and Jarrell Miller versus Deontay Wilder a lot more than I want to see AJ versus Wilder, because Wilder versus AJ lost too much luster. Roland Curtis off Vermont Avenue. I would like to see Jarrell Miller versus Anthony Joshua. I would. I'm not sure if I would like to see it over Wilder. But then Wilder haven't showed us anything too, so he has a lot to redeem himself for. Because if he goes in there looking like trash against Herndon, yeah, he should just shut it down. But he won't, because he knows as long as somebody's going to give him an opportunity to fight, he's going to take it. That's one thing about these boxers. They might have current early signs of CTE. They could have all types of warning signs that they shouldn't fight again. But when that money gets introduced, they're going to go for that money. You know what I mean? It's almost like, hey, let me get this money so I can go buy some crack or something. Where if boxers is like, hey, offer me a contract so I can go in there and get my brains beat out like I'm accustomed to. You know, they're accustomed to that. And it may be like, you know, you think about it, you've been in 45 fights and you've taken a lot of damage, and someone tells you, hey man, you know, you're showing signs. So a doctor tells you that. A lot of these fighters don't give a shit. Like, hey, okay, I'm still gonna fight because I still want that $350,000. I still want that $600,000 check. I still want that $788,000 check. I want that $1 million. I want that $2 million. Yeah, they're gonna do it for that money, bro. They don't give a shit how or what those doctors say. You think if Rocky Balboa or Rocky V you think if he had a choice, he would fight? Yeah, he would fight. I want to fight. This is what I know. It's what I know, Adrian. You can't fight, Rocky. Your brain's damaged. I want to fight. I'm lost everything, Paulie. You lost everything? Hey, I didn't steal a fucking dime. Umar, counterpunch to you, Kurt, your opinion. Jalilov will become a champion. I don't know. It depends on who he fights. You know, because Jalilov, he's okay. I think he needs some fine tuning. I don't think the Olympics did him anything good. You know, I don't think the Olympics did anything for him. To be real with you, I don't think that was the case. I don't think that at all. I think Jalilov needed to stay his ass in the pros. You know, stay on his manager or promoter or whatever. You know, to get him better and better fights. If he has to relocate, that's what he needs to do. A lot of these fighters need to get their ass out of that place that they're from that has no boxing power, no boxing or famous or known boxing promoter's going to go to Uzbekistan. He's just not. They're not going to go there. They may have a fight over there, just like they may film a movie in Shreveport, but Shreveport is not a place to go if you want to be a fucking actor. You go to LA, you go to Atlanta, right? You go anywhere but here. Maybe Chicago, maybe New York for the theater, but you do not stay here in Shreveport. That's how it is in boxing. So if Jalilov wants to make a name for himself, get the fuck out of Uzbekistan. Move to the UK. The end. Don't even come to the States because there's nothing here yet. You know what I mean? It's going to take a while. They have fights here. We have Stanionis versus Ennis. It's going to be on the Zone. It's going to be this weekend. It's going to be on. Okay? Bars. And AJ Fury going to happen. Nah, I don't care if it happens or not, bro. The Three Kings shit's done. Let's move on. You know, I'm like Daniel. Let's move on now. Let's move on. Let's move now. Let's go. Bow! He slams his hand down. I'm like, damn. You'd hate to have that power slap. Imagine, Dane, I'm gonna just hit you with his your face would be like this forever. Hit that like button, peeps. Jalilov got destroyed by Joyce. I mean, understand, these fighters that you think is going to go somewhere, you have to understand what they do in each and every step that they make forward. How did they look here? We're used to seeing him here. That's where we're like, but what happens when he leaves and he steps up in opposition to that next level? You know what I mean? What does he do there? Does he have any difference between the last level he was on and the level that he stepped up to? So you have to keep that under advisement. And if he does get through that level, then guess what? Boom, you're at another level. So then you got to ask the same amount of questions at that level. How did you look? What can you do? What can't you do? You know what I'm saying? Then you go to that other level. And then that other level is top 10 status. But Jarrell is down here somewhere. So we don't know how good he will do against someone until he changes oppositions, until he gets fights. See, you can stay on level 3 for 5 years, and in that one time in 5 years, you're the king of that level. Let you go up to the top 15. Then you're fighting guys ranked number 13, 14 in the world. Then you get beat. Then you'll be looking like, damn, yeah. I just got here. JD, counterpunch to you. I mean, Wilder's dangerous, you know. He's a dangerous cat. Jarrell and Torres actually not looking good. I expected more. I mean, I'm not impressed with Jarrell. I'm not. Jarrell honestly, personally pissed me off when he decided to go back to the amateurs. That was just so counterproductive. Like, why would you do that now? But anyway, he got gold. Good for you, you know. Should Jarrell Miller be fined? Let's see here. 54% say no. And the 54% of you said no, you're just real people just like me. Because I honestly think Ryan Garcia, Vasil Lomachenko, or Devin Haney, and you know, Jarrell Miller, all these fights, I think like those guys were fined something for that. It was absolutely crazy. Miller will get smoked for that slap on the night. Let's hope so. Show you guys karma is real. Miller will get smoked. Okay, I already got that one. It's a new dawn for the heavyweights. They got all L's except Usyk. The new gen coming through now. Well, we'll see. I don't want to see Moses versus Usyk. That's just stupid. You know? Did Miller slap someone? Nah, he touched this guy's face. He kind of grabbed him, like, you know, he kind of, because he could hit what he could reach. And he didn't really reach much. His fingertips pretty much grazed him, you know, but I mean, it's still disrespectful. You don't put your hands on people like that. Yeah, exactly. Crazy legs is way more than a tap than a push. You know what I mean? It's just enough to touch you and be like, this dude tried to slap me. So it's more like an attempted slap than a regular one, because it wasn't enough leverage for him to even slap him this way, or downward, you know what I'm saying? Or anything like that. He didn't do the backhand. He didn't do the side to side. He didn't do none of that. USA needs more boxing. Yeah, they do. I'll get Cabal versus Moses Atoma. I don't want to see that right now. Because then Moses will be tested, but what if he's not good enough? Then that means he's got in there with someone he has no business in there with. Caballo has Moses by 12 years. It's a long time. 12 years. That's a long time. So, more of a tap than a slap. The shine of boxing. Okay. Should Jarrell Miller. Okay, let's see. Mastermind of boxing. I'm not a fan of Jarrell Miller, but I like his trash talk and the slaps with to who he sells to fight. Skrilla 50 in the building. Counterpunch to you. Fun a fan then. Okay. Oh, run a fade then. Okay. I think Caballero versus Usyk is the fight of the decade. I think it's pretty dope, dudes. I really do. So I'm glad you guys just feel that Jarrell Miller shouldn't be fined, but I mean that's what they're doing these days and ages. You know, it's been fun. I gotta go in. I just wanted to reach out to you guys before I got busy here at this track meet. But you guys be blessed, be safe, happy Monday, and everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.